So I'm just ironing my clothes here for work. It's Tuesday morning, and listening to some worship and prayer by Upper Room, which I just shared on my Facebook page. I'll put the link down below. But the thought that just came to me, and I was going to share it Facebook Live, but decided not to, is that I wonder how many years I was robbed, and many of us are robbed of worship and pure adoration with the Father in the Spirit. As I said, the true worshipers will worship Him in spirit and in truth. And, I've said this before, but what's the opposite of spirit and of truth? Or opposite of spirit? It's flesh. And what's opposite of truth? It's lie. And so I was just listening to the tone and the lack of stirring up in the flesh from the worship, from the song. There's a lot of songs, worship songs, that can stir up our emotions, that can stir up even our flesh, can stir us up to the point where we feel something. And sometimes it could be the spirit, but it could just be the spirit of the musician, could be the spirit of the music, could be the emotional reaction from the sounds. And so my question is, if we can't worship without some really upbeat, high energy worship music, if we can't enter into His presence with soaking type music or soft prayer, intercession type worship music, what does that say about our soul? Because I know, because I've been there for a long time. This is kind of one of the first times that I've been able to really learn how to slowly enter in to His presence without a whole lot of hype or high energy type worship music. I would rely on that. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that maybe there was something in me that needed to mature a little bit, that my soul needed to be quieted, because that's where we hear Him, and that's the Bible talks about that still small voice. He who has an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. And so if we're listening to really loud, strong worship music, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, there's a time for war, there's a time for peace, there's a time to love, there's a time to hate. There's a time for everything. There's a time to be angry. But I believe there is a time to rest. And there's a time for our souls, our mind, our will, and our emotion to enter into that rest. And so I would encourage you to take some time to replace some scrolling on Facebook with some soaking. And allow the Lord to minister to your heart to the point where you can learn how to minister to His heart out of your spirit. Out of your spirit being, just worship Him in spirit and in truth, not in the soul, or not in the flesh, or even the soul, which is the mind, the will, and the emotions. I mean, I think that, like I said, I'm not trying to create some kind of legalistic doctrine here, but I'm encouraging us to question whether or not we're worshiping in spirit and in truth. or in our flesh, or in our soul, or in our emotions. Let's engage Holy Spirit out of our innermost being. You know, David said, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, renew a right spirit within me. Take not your Holy Spirit from me." In Psalm 51. So, like I said, just type in Eric Gilmore on YouTube. There's a lot of soft worship tones that you can use there, or Upper Room. Monday morning, they had some couple hours worth of prayer and worship that I've been listening to this morning. So just check it out and put some comments. Let me know what you think and what you encounter, or how you encounter the Lord and what you hear from him.